Awesome. Thanks, folks. Apologies, a couple of minutes late with some streaming issues, but I'm really happy to kick this off. How good is this? This is a bit of an upgrade from last year. Thank you. It's really fantastic to see you all here. We kind of think about this conference, and always thinking about Nextflow itself, it often feels like it's about the technology, and there's going to be a lot of talks over the next days, speaking about technology. But when we like to think about it, it's also really about the people, and it's really about how the technology can empower those people to collaborate, to come together, to share. I know that over the last couple of days in the hackathon, we've had an amazing amount of people building some incredible things. I hope we can keep that vibe going to this as we hear some talks. Many of the talks we're going to see lots of really nice and cool applications of Nextflow and some of the technology around that. I think when we think about that, it is also very connected to the science, and it's how we can kind of combine that technology and the science as people. And if we think about that in particular, that science is performed by scientists. That means it's an obvious statement, but it really is involving interaction of people, sharing of ideas, and then hopefully using some of this technology to help them and enable them to do that. I just wanted to point out, probably one of the better parts of my job is spending time talking to users and really seeing what they're doing with the technology. When I think about that, particularly over the last year, the use cases have just expanded a lot. This is just a really high-level view of some of the things that we'll see over the next couple of days, but also the things I've had the experience to see over the last little while. Obviously, the usage of Nextflow and the ecosystem tools is highly focused in the life sciences, so in pharma and biomedicine in particular. We see a lot of work that's going on in drug development, things like CRISPR screens here, a lot of personalized medicine work which is going on, and be able to use really a lot of sequencing to kind of as a kind of readout on that. Agriculture and animal health, we'll see some talks on that as well, how it can be used for crop development, as well as really interested in some more new ideas around how we can apply biology in this sense to things like synthetic biology, into things like public health, kind of screening programs which are going on, as well as areas completely outside of life sciences. I know last year we saw some talks on people using Nextflow for economics, and looking forward to hearing some more ideas on that as well. Just want to jump into a few logistical questions, logistical things here. So first up, the Wi-Fi. This is going to be probably the first thing that you're probably reaching for your phones for now. This is the login here. Once you log in via here, you have to provide your email. It has to be a real email. And you have to use that to basically get a code, and that should be able to use from there. It's a slightly convoluted process, but I'm sure we can all figure it out. On to some of the more communication things. So throughout the event, there is a Slack channel in the Nextflow Slack. You can use that to really connect, to ask questions. We often use it in terms of threads. So if there's any questions that you have from speakers, if you want to connect with people, if you want to follow along, you can do that. There's a QR code there to join the Nextflow Slack, as well as to connect inside of that channel. As we think about the talks, we've sort of asked the folks who are talking to come up prior, and we will obviously sort you out. We're also sort of thinking about in terms of upvoting your favorite questions. So there's these questions that you have. You could use those, as well as relying on the moderators to keep time. I'm the moderator for the first section, and I'm already a little bit late, so I will keep things going. We're getting streamed live on YouTube as well. All of the talks will be recorded, and you can access those later on. We'll also do some edits on that. So welcome to all the folks listening around the world. We had some sort of thousands of viewers last year, and it's kind of great to be able to share the experience with them as well. If we think about the posters as well, we've got a couple of poster sessions that are going to be tomorrow, Thursday. They will be switched up at midday, so during that time, we'll be all out there. Please use that to ask questions. There's also a chat inside of the Nextflow Slack for asking those questions. So, okay. There's maybe one thing you may have noticed as you entered today, and that's that this logo isn't really too many places. And one thing we've been switched up, and that's actually a kind of an exciting thing for today, is really a rebranding of Nextflow and a rebranding of what we've been doing. So whilst on the Nextflow side, it's not a massive change. We're taking the original logo and switching it up into a slightly more modern version of this, the real kind of thinking behind this is like how we can connect this to the broader mission and the broader brand that we have. So the original Nextflow logo was created whilst we were at CRG. It was really just something as we had as an open source project, put it on GitHub. And really as we've kind of gone and connected this to other things, we want to kind of bring that brand value into other areas. When we think about what we're trying to do at Seqera, really is this concept of making complex scientific data analysis accessible, and that's really where Nextflow kind of fits in here. We want to be able to invest more and more into open source. Over the last 5 years, we've invested about $5 million into open source, and over the next 10 years, we want to do sort of 10x on that as well. So really be able to do that means building that brand piece and linking all this together. So we are now linking in Seqera, what we've been doing, with the other open science tools that we have, things like MultiQC and Wave, etc. And there's going to be several talks on this over the coming days as well. Just finishing up on, some of you may have heard of Nextflow Tower and the platform that we've been building, essentially kind of rebranding into the Seqera platform to really like harmonize that piece. And I'll be speaking about this later on today. But with that, I think we can like to thank all of our sponsors for the here. We have obviously some folks out the back there who have got some stands. I believe there's also a little a treasure hunt in terms of getting stamps from all of the sponsors. So look forward to the winner there. And with that, I will pass it over to the first speaker.